هو الله تعالی پروردگارا مرزگارا نفس نفیسی به ملکوت شهود سعود نمود و از خاکدان فانی به جهان جاودانی شتافت. میهمان جدید است عزیز فرما، بنده قدیم است خلعت بدیع عطا کن. ای بی نیاز بیامرز و بنواز و به خلوتگاه راز راه ده و در محفل تجلی همدم و دمساز نما. تویی دهنده و بخشنده و مهربان و تویی آمرزنده و نوازنده و توانا.
O my God, this thy servant has advanced toward thee, is passionately wander in the desert of thy love, walking in the path of thy service, anticipating thy favor, hoping for thy bounty, relying upon thy kingdom, and being endowed with the wine of thy gift. O my God, increase his fervor, the passion, his constancy in thy praise, and his ardor in thy love. Verily thou art the beneficent and endowed with the great bounty. There is no God but thee, the forgiving, the merciful. Abdul Baha.
Thy name is my healing, O my God, and remembrance of thee is my remedy. Nearness to thee is my hope, and love to thee is my companion. Thy mercy to me is my healing and my succor in both this world and the world to come. Thou verily art the all-bountiful, the all-knowing, the all-wise. Baha'u'llah.
In his name, the exalted, the all-highest, the most sublime. Glorified art thou, O Lord my God, O thou who art my God and my Master, and my Lord, and my support, and my hope, and my refuge, and my light. I ask of thee by thy hidden and treasured name, which none knoweth save thine own self, to protect the bearer of this tablet from every calamity and pestilence, and from every wicked man and woman, from the evil of the evildoers, and from the scheming of the unbelievers. Preserve him moreover, O my God, from every pain and vexation. O thou who holdest in thy hand the empire of all things, thou truly art powerful over all things. Thou doest as thou willest, and ordainest as thou pleasest. O thou King of kings, O thou kind Lord, O thou source of ancient bounty, of grace, of generosity and bestowal, O thou healer of sicknesses, O thou sufficer of needs, O thou light of light, O thou light above all lights, O thou revealer of every manifestation, O thou the compassionate, O thou the merciful, do thou have mercy upon the bearer of this tablet, through thy most great mercy and thine abundant grace. O thou the gracious, thou the bounteous, guard him moreover through thy protection from whatsoever his heart and mind may find repugnant. Of those endowed with power, thou verily art the most powerful. The glory of God rest upon thee, O thou rising sun. Do thou testify unto that which God hath testified of his own self, that there is none other God besides him, the Almighty, the best beloved. Baha'u'llah.
O my Lord, my beloved, my desire, befriend me in my loneliness and accompany me in my exile. Remove my sorrow, cause me to be devoted to thy beauty. Withdraw me from all else save thee. Attract me through thy fragrances of holiness. Cause me to be devoid, to be associated to thy kingdom with those who are served from all else save thee, who long to serve thy sacred threshold and who stand to work in thy cause. Enable me to be one of thy maid servants who have attained to thy good pleasure. Verily, thou art gracious, the generous. Abdul.
Make us as waves of the sea, as flowers of the garden, united, agreed, through the bounties of thy love. As waves of the sea, as flowers of the garden, united, agreed, through the bounties of thy love. And make all mankind as stars shining from the same heights of glory. Upon thy agreed through the bounties of thy love. As waves of the sea, as flowers of the garden, united agreed through the bounties of thy love. And make all mankind a star shining from the same height of glory. As perfect fruits growing upon thy tree of life. And make all mankind a star shining from the same heights of glory. As perfect fruits growing upon thy tree of love. Is a light that guideth in darkness. Love is a light that guideth in darkness. Love is a light that guideth in darkness. Love is a light that guideth in darkness. Make us as make us as wake up and kind as stars shine in the realms of desire. Make us as well as perfect fruits grow in the realms of desire.
Hello, friends. Welcome to our program on the Thursdays in English. Today we have a 919th program in Talari Iran. I have some news for you today. As you know, Dr. Hossein Ahdiye will be with us regarding the life of Mr. Frutan, which I know that all of you know him very well and you have a memory with him. I want to, in addition to that, I want to announce for our English programs on Thursdays. The English program today would be the last one. Of course, it doesn't mean that we won't have any English program. Still, the English-speaking speakers or programmers still they are going to be a part of the programs, but the main foundation of the program will be in Persian from next week and onward. And the reason is I do need some support from all of you and the friends around the world for the schools that right now is involving with a lot of activities. And then we should have some sort of a program, a special program for that matter. So between all of other jobs that I do, I think I decided to go with the Persian programs, and then just finish the English, because the goals that I have with English program, it was not achieved. So that's why I don't want to really spending more time on this, because I do have some more important things to do, and then I have to jumping and just coming up with the new programs for the Talari Aran, and then activities that we have currently and activities that we will have in future. So that's why today will be the last program completely in English. Then after that would be all of them in Persian. And of course, as I said, it doesn't mean that our English speakers and the friends are not going to participate. Still, we might have, if anybody come forward, still we are going to have it in English. But the main frame of the program will be in Farsi. Tonight, I have selected already another episode of Like a Breeze. I'd like to finish this Like a Breeze for 17 minutes. We're gonna reach to 7:45, and then Dr. Ahdi is already online. I know that is very late for him, so that's why I started. I thought that maybe I have to start the program a little bit earlier. So 7:45, we will start his program. And you know that Dr. Ahdi is so kind, and the way that he talks, he just remembered me, Mr. Furtan himself, the way that he was talking English, and then so sweet. And Mr. Ahdi is the same way. And actually, Dr. Ahdi is supporting us for a long time. More than 5-6 years, he's supporting us with the different program that we have in Talari Aran. Okay, friends, we're going to go and just looking at one of the episode of Like the Breeze, Greta Anderson. We'll watch together.
Finding the Baha'i Faith has really changed my understanding of what it's like to be a person with a soul on this planet. It's going beyond all barriers and concepts that we have hold true and are attached to right now, but it's very, very forward thinking to what's the capacity that humanity has for the future. Is there any remover of difficulties, save God? My name is Greta Anderson. I was born in New Jersey in the United States and was raised in Minnesota. My family raised me as a unificationist, which for those that know Reverend Moon, he's from Korea, and it's a very, very small religion. In my family there are my two parents, and I am the third daughter. I have two older sisters and a younger brother. After graduating high school, I went to college at the University of Minnesota and then transferred to the University of Bridgeport, which is in Connecticut. It's a small school. I got a scholarship for graphic design. After my studies, I did some sales jobs. I worked in New York at a magazine. I was the art director for a spiritual newspaper that was converting into a magazine. From there, I ended up traveling to some different countries. I lived in Turkey, I lived in Israel, Palestine, and then moved to Uganda. I declared as a Baha'i in Kampala, Uganda. I went to Israel, or near Bethlehem, on a school trip. I was the secretary at my school for a program called Service for Peace, and they do a program each year to travel abroad, like an international service program. And it was a 2-week program, and we were working with a community in the West Bank and building a school and things like this. At this time, I was really open-minded spiritually and was thinking about readjusting my spiritual values from my parents' upbringing. There were some things I loved about the faith, but then also didn't seem correct in my heart. So at the end of our time at the service project, we went to Haifa as tourists. And that's where I heard about the faith for the first time. It was at the World Center. And we heard from our tour guide about just the basic principles of the Baha'i faith. I didn't meet my first Baha'i until 2 years after that visit. And I would just sometimes look up quotes on the internet or something, but I didn't study the background very much. I just thought it was really beautiful. I really liked from the tour guide, they said that elimination of all prejudices. And to me that was really important for a religion to have that as part of their foundation. It was to have love of all mankind, and the oneness of God was really important to me, that the religions agree was important to me. And so when I heard this in Haifa, I was like, okay, I can trust whatever these writings or quotes from this faith talk about. In the church where my family raised me, there was a big emphasis on that one family under God, that we're one global family. But the problem was they expected you to marry somebody that was born into the church. And so if I didn't find, all the families started to grow very insular, and people lived in kind of their own bubble. It was like they weren't connected with the rest of the world. And I said, how are we going to be one family under God if we don't reach out to all these other people that live here and we don't understand their life? And so, I just asked this question, why is the world so disunited? And there's got to be a solution that every human being on the planet can understand and relate to. There's got to be a spiritual truth outside of this truth or that truth or that truth, but a foundation of all of them. And so I felt like it was incomplete. You can't say one family under God if you're not willing to see the rest of the world and to, agree with them and to elevate understanding and so forth. I was in Connecticut, and I was finishing my studies, and I wasn't really spiritually practicing much of anything. Still would have a relationship with God, but was not so much interested in religion anymore. And then my senior year of college, the first semester was really difficult, and I found myself really needing guidance. And so when that semester was over, I was like, you know what, I think I need to be practicing some spiritual obedience here. And that's when I decided to reach out to a Baha'i, and I went on the website and looked to contact somebody to meet me. First time they came to my school, and we just sat in the library over a cup of tea and talked a little bit about the faith and a little bit about Baha'u'llah and like what I was studying. It was very informal, it was nice. And then they invited me to 2 firesides, and they came to my my graduation gallery exhibit. They, as the graphic designers, have a display of their work, and so these 2 spiritual teachers, supported me. They kind of, at the end of my college career, I felt like they were really there to support me, almost like parents that, weren't there for me. I had the opportunity in this job in New York to save some money, and it was a really lucky thing because I didn't want to just work 60 hours a week, and I wanted to really explore something bigger than that, especially while I was young. I was 23, 24 years old, And I said, you know what, I want to learn why the world is so disunited, so I'm going to go travel. I'm going to go to different places and try to meet people from other cultures and other religious backgrounds and in other languages, and really try to understand just a glimpse of the human conditions outside of the United States. And I never did much international travel by myself ever. And I got a job as a nanny or an au pair in Turkey, in Istanbul. And so I said, okay, I'm going to take my savings and go to Istanbul and live there until I know where to go next. And so I spent maybe 13 months going to a total of 10 different countries, just trying to volunteer in different organizations and pray in different religious places. I went to synagogues and all the holy places you can imagine, you know, and went to mosques in Egypt and in Cairo and Alexandria. And I don't know, I really was open, had a huge open heart, was totally trusting God, you know, the whole journey. And my family thought I was crazy because I'm like a 23-year-old girl that is by herself with no plan and wandering around in the Middle East. And they didn't know what I was doing, but I knew what I was doing, and that was following my heart, and that was really like trying to understand people from different places. So I lived in Muslim majority countries and Jewish majority countries and Christian majority countries, and the whole time through I had a Baha'i prayer book. Two and a half years ago, it was Easter Sunday of 2013. I was at the House of Worship in Kampala, Uganda. My last organization that I went to volunteer with, I was working with schools and in an orphanage and helping getting scholarships for families. And at that time, I got to know some of the Baha'is in Uganda. So my first Baha'i community was really an African community. And that's where I studied Book 1. And I was really preparing myself, feeling like, you know what, I think I really love this, so I want to learn more and be very intentional about it. So the last 3 months I was traveling, I was really getting ready to declare. Because I had that brief experience in a Muslim majority country, I actually really fell in love with the Middle East, and it kind of fascinated me, even though I didn't know much about it. So maybe if I had never made that trip to like the Holy Land, I would not have this kind of love and the mysticism. I also was a big lover of Rumi, the Sufi poet, and so I don't know, I felt like the writings were poetic. My family raised me in a pretty small and somewhat strict church, you know, and they really believed that I would stay with this religion my whole life and marry somebody within the church. And I was so grateful that they raised me in a religious foundation, but I didn't think that when I told them they would understand. So it took me a lot of courage to be able to tell them. After traveling for that amount of time, I ended up going back to my parents' house in Minnesota for just 2 months or 3 months. And it took me, you know, almost until the end of my time living with them that I told them that I was a Baha'i. And you know, I found this faith, and it means a lot to me. When I moved back to my family's house in Minnesota after traveling and just recently declared as a Baha'i, there was an announcement from the Universal House of Justice that there would be over 100 conferences around the world for youth ages 15 to 30 years old to get together and to learn how to live a life of service and friendship and education. So it was very relevant to me, who was deciding what should I do, what's the most valuable with my time and energy right now. Before going to this youth gathering, I thought the Baha'i faith was just like a really beautiful spiritual understanding that came from Persia, and and believed in the oneness of humanity. It was a global religion, and it was just so beautiful. But then after I went to the youth gatherings, I saw this like whole other dynamic and perspective of the faith that I had no idea was happening. And that was that it's a very, very active faith, you know. It's not just talking about the oneness of humanity, but it's doing work. A lot of intentional work, like meeting people out of your comfort zone to like introduce them to this faith and to create programs that improve their lives and their happiness. And I've never seen, you know, I did all these volunteer experiences with different organizations in other countries, and I didn't see anything at all this beautiful, you know, compared to all these other organizations. So I was pretty excited that I could be involved with something this meaningful that was also aligned with, you know, my newfound faith. And the youth gathering showed me a lot of other friends that were my age that were devoted to learning how to live a life of service to the world and, you know, of their own spiritual growth. And I thought it was a super warm conference. If I didn't go to that, you know, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't have done a period of service. You know, I really think those conferences shaped a lot of how I see my life as a Baha'i today. I moved to North Carolina after a couple months of being with my family in Minnesota because my oldest sister lives there. And she had just had her first baby, so my nephew. And I went there with the intention of just babysitting for a few months, maybe half a year, to help her out so she could go back to work. But then after 2 or 3 months, I really missed, you know, praying with Baha'is. And so I went to my first feast in North Carolina with that community and started to get involved with other youth and building friendships there. So I'm about 10 months of doing a period of service. I was really debating if I should go to grad school or not, graduate school. And I thought that this was my plan. I was really excited about it. I got accepted to a very good program in Seattle, Washington. And I thought that it would be perfect. Lots of job opportunities, seems very interesting, but it's also very expensive, and maybe I would just end up working and not being able to serve the faith because I would be so invested in my career, and it'd be difficult to have a time for family or, you know, service to the faith and so forth. So I said, okay, I'm gonna postpone my enrollment for 1 year and just do a period of service, and then feel like maybe God will confirm if I should go to graduate school or if I should find a way to have a job that allows me to serve the faith and still work and employ myself from my undergraduate degree. And so now I've decided not to go. Being a Baha'i and being an educated person, it's not that you choose one or the other, but you try to find an education that helps you be a better Baha'i. So right now I traveled to Maryland for a campaign or an intensive study of Book 7. We're learning how to be tutors so that we can help guide friends through study circles. And in addition to studying this material, we're also doing a lot of practical, active work in a neighborhood very close to here. We are meeting youth and parents in the neighborhood. We show some videos and we have conversations about Baha'i-inspired programs, how this is to make better communities. Is there any most people's life where they really ask, what is God and why am I here? And this is my story of how I found God and the love of the Baha'i faith.
Okay, thank you so much, Greta. Okay, friends, now is the time we want to go and just meet Mr. Ahdiye. Mr. Ahdiye, just I see you online. I will unmute you. Welcome. Mr. Ahdiye has Titania there as well. I think together they are there. Okay, would you turn on your camera? Okay, perfect. Let me see. Yeah, thank you so much.
I
So
love
glad to
Farid.
see you.
Oh, wonderful. Farid and John. So I'm so excited to be with you. Seriously.
Thank you so much.
It's
All the time when I talk to you, really, you bring me a lot of joy and happiness. I'm telling you.
it's such a pleasure. And I'm so glad I listened to this short presentation by this young lady.
Yes.
When you hear their story and how they serve the faith, you realize that when the expression that the youth can move the world, these
Yes.
are the examples. And believe me, there are hundreds of them that I have come across, that they have the same spirit and they have the same love for Baha'u'llah. Actually, if you have some picture that
Yes, I do have some pictures, but you send me all the pictures in the body of the email. It was very difficult for me to download all of them because not was difficult. I didn't mind to do it one by one, but I thought that maybe I'm losing the sequence of the
Okay.
picture, so
Why
that's
don't
why
you?
I'm showing it.
Actually,
Showing it as
it's good to be
let me,
flexible. Just show the whole thing.
yeah, I
Okay.
will manage it in a way that it still will be in
That's
order,
perfect. That's
but
perfectly
some
all
other
right.
way. Okay, here we go. That's it.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that my relation with the hand of our cause, Mr. Furutan, started way back in 1950s, actually, when I was only 10, 12 years old, and has continued until his passing in early 20th century. Now, what they want to express that I had the opportunity to meet many of the handler causes in New York City, because in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, New York was the hub for all these wonderful souls to travel and to stay. And I was either their host, they stay in my house, or I was their driver, or I was organizing a meeting for them. But among all of them, for some reason, I have a special affection for Mr. Furutan. And I think the reason was because most other hands I met in my later days of my life, but I met Mr. Furutan when I was 10, 11 years old. Somehow there was a school in Tehran called Daro Tarbiyeh, not Tarbiyat school. This was Daro Tarbiyeh, the house of manner that the National Spiritual Assembly has established. And the school was basically for the children of the martyrs, children of international pioneers, and others. I think somehow, I don't know what the blessing or connection that my father had with Mr. Furutan, they knew each other. Mr. Furutan agreed to take me to that school. I hated that school, I want to let you know, because they were so good and they were so organized and they were so spiritual. And for me, that I had this free spirit lifestyle, and I was naughty, and I was hyperactive, and all that. To be disciplined and to live a life of a good Baha'i child was very difficult. But Mr. Furutan, God bless his soul, who was a general director of the school, was extremely kind and patient with me. For the couple of years that I wasn't at the school, he showed me so much love and affection. It reached a point that in order to make sure I behave myself and I be a good boy, he would invite me almost every day, go to National Baha'i Center, that he was a Secretary of National, and act as an office boy. He would tell me, take this message, that office, go and get that book, do this, and keep me busy. Oh, one incident that I want to share with you, for example, I am from the city of Abadan, which is very hot place in the southern part of Iran by the Persian Gulf. And in the summertime, often we go and swim in the pool and relax, because that's the only way we can survive the heat of that city. So I am in the National Baha'i Center. At the middle of the National Baha'i Center, there was this beautiful body of water. It was a little pool, or they call it hose, with the fish and all that. Extremely beautiful place. So I don't know what moved me, and I was kind of hot day. I took my clothes off. Of course, I kept my underwear, and I jumped in the pool, which was probably the first time it happened in the history of the National Baha'i Center. They went and told Mr. Furutan that Hussein is in the pool, half naked. So poor man came, and he was so always dressed nicely, had a suit on and tie and all that. And he tried to get me out of the pool. And I was afraid that he looked so upset and so mad that I was afraid to come out. So I remember he would go from one corner of the pool, I run the other side, we come this side, then I run the other side. He remembered that the story. And he said, Hussein has aged me. He used to tell people. And I hope I didn't really, because I don't think so I did, because he lived to be 98 years old. How could I age him if the man lived 90 years old? So that story happened in Iran when I was quite young. Then I came to America, and I live in New York, and I established myself as an educator and this and that, and I married. This particular picture that you see is my son Bobby. The picture was taken in a Greenacre Baha'i School. And when you look at the way Mr. Furutan looking at that child, it's so much affection and so love. He was like this with every child. You know, his training and education at University of Moscow was child education, but is a genuinely love children and pay attention to them. Okay, next picture, if there's a way you can move. Again, this is another picture. That's my wife, Tahare, and my daughter, Linda. Linda now is over 50 years old, and this is her when she was probably 2-3 years old. We were all in Greenacre High School and have a great time with Mr. Furutan. I have so much memory of those wonderful days that I spent with this. Mr. Furutan was always dressed so sharp, and he was so good looking. And the way he walks, in Iran, he was a Secretary of National Assembly. You should walk in his office. He had the beautiful, large office at the National Baha'i Center. And he was managing the affair of 300,000-400,000 Baha'is in Iran. He was as important as any minister that they can imagine in that country. Some rich Baha'i has made arrangement for a car would pick him up from his house and take him to National Center and take him home. And he had I think he had the bodyguard, because there was always a fear that they may try to assassinate and kill him. But so he is considered really the father or the builder of the Baha'i administration order or world order of Baha'u'llah in country of Iran. For almost half a century that he served the faith as a secretary and hand of a cause. His primary purpose, working closely with Shoghi Effendi, was to establish that order and that administrative situation. Next picture, Aziz. Again, at Greenacre, I love this pic. Somebody took this picture, and I'm really glad they did, and I somehow was saved. Next one. There's one I'd like for them to see it. Oh, I love this picture. I don't know how many of people have seen this. This is, all of a sudden he said, Hussein, I really like to have some ice cream. You know, the hand of a calls asking for ice cream. You would try to get him ice cream. So I said, what kind of ice cream you want, Mr. Furutan? I think he told me vanilla. And I was going to get him the ice cream, and he repeated, Hussein, no strawberry, no chocolate, vanilla ice cream. I said, yes, sir, vanilla ice cream. So I went and I got him some ice cream. And these are some Baha'is who are attending the Greenacre schools, and I am at the middle, standing there, very humble. So I'm not. Oh, so okay, we moved from Greenacre. You know, he used to come to New York and America very often. This is a picture when he came to New York, and he stayed with us actually. And it was a large gathering was arranged. Hundreds and thousands of people would come to visit him, to listen to him. He was such a great speaker. The way he moved his hands, the way he expressed himself, his sense of humor, the stories he shared was unparalleled, believe me. And I remember something cute happened. This lady, which I don't want to mention her name, came, and he wanted to go to that private section of Baha'i Center that we have placed Mr. Furutan until the occasion come that he come on a stage and to give his talk. And he told me, I want to meet my uncle. I said, who's your uncle? I told a lady. He said, Mr. Furutan. I said, honey, lady, today, Mr. Furutan is everybody's uncle. So I was told not to disturb him right now. He said, yeah, then I think he proved it to me that, that Mr. Furutan is indeed her uncle. So we let her in, and the meeting took place. These are some souls around him. Next picture, Aziz. Oh, and this is probably last picture of those days. This is another occasion at the Baha'i Center, and my daughter Linda is presenting him with the flowers. Oh, this is his office in National Spiritual Assembly of Tehran. It was quite an impressive office. You should see that big desk, and he sit behind it like a mighty figure. Very impressive, actually, that place. And I spent lots of time in that room serving him. The relation between him and Shoghi Effendi started from, let me change the whole approach now. I'm going to go and give some of his biographical stuff, so you know who I'm talking about. He was born actually in, I think, 1905, if I'm not mistaken, in a city of Sabzavar, which is in the province of 1905, yes, indeed, province of Khorasan. This Khorasan and Sabzavar and Mashhad has been the birthplace of many wonderful Baha'i souls. And from the time of the Bab, when Quddus and Mullah Hussein and others were residing in Mashhad, and that province has been really one of the great Babi and Baha'i center in our history. He was born in 1905 in the city of Sabzavar, and his childhood he spent in a kind of a school system. They used to call him maktab. Some of my old Persian friends may know what I'm talking about. This was an old traditional school that there was a teacher who would train the kids to memorize the Quran, to memorize some poetry of Hafiz and Sa'di and all that. And of course, along with that, he was getting some Baha'i education because he was from a wonderful Baha'i family. As it happened in many Baha'i community, the persecution of the Baha'is was becoming more and more severe as the years went by. And eventually, I think his father, they probably lost his business, and he realized that the family cannot survive in Sabzawar. So in 1914, he decided to take his family. They left Sabzawar and they went to Ashgabat. Or let me say a few words about Ashgabat. Ashgabat, at that time was part of the Russian or Soviet Union empire, and it was limited freedom for the Baha'i community in that city, and it was an occasion that even allowed Baha'is, with the advice of Abdul Baha, to build a temple there. It was a very large Baha'i community, and it was really a great center. And many Baha'is from throughout Iran, when they want to escape the persecution, they would go to Ashgabat. So they had schools for the Baha'i children. There are two major schools, one for boys, one for the girls. And of course, he got involved in teaching in those schools. And as a matter of fact, in 1925, I think, he became the principal of boys' school in the city of Ashgabat. But he had to, at the same time, this decision was made that he had to pursue his own education. And Ashgabat was not the place to do so. So he moved to Moscow. I think it was 1928 or so. And soon he became a member of the local spiritual assembly of Moscow. And he began to study child psychology at the University of Moscow. And he wrote a number of articles, and he wrote his thesis on child education. And I think he was there probably, and he graduated after 4 years in University of Moscow. But then I have a feeling that this was during Stalin time, and then the government decided to expel the Baha'i community and Baha'is from Ashgabat and others, and he was forced to leave the Russian territory, and he moved to Tehran. In 1930, he married to a most wonderful woman, which I also met a number of times, from very prominent family. And from that marriage, they had 2 daughters, Iran and Parvin. I know Iran Khanum very well. She is a great author and great servant of Baha'u'llah. One of her services that she has offered, she has written this most wonderful book about her father, which was published by the Baha'i Publishing Trust, and it's quite a mighty book. My assistant, Tatiana Jordan, just brought it for me tonight, so I'm hoping to get a chance to read it next couple of weeks. What else I can tell him about his days? He, at the very earliest stage, he began to correspond and report his activity to Shoghi Effendi. It was quite interesting that those days, when you are actively involved in the doing Baha'i work, you send a report to Shoghi Effendi, and Shoghi Effendi often would answer. And it was a series of corresponding between him and Shoghi Effendi, and that I think probably most likely Iran Khanum in the book has made a reference to them. It was at that time when he moved to Tehran that he was, because of his training in University of Moscow in education, he also became the principal of Tarbiyat Baha'i School. Tarbiyat Baha'i School was a leading Baha'i school that has produced some of the great scholars in the faith and outside, because the school was open to also non-Baha'is. Unfortunately, that school and all other Baha'i schools were closed, and the reason was as such. The Tarbiyat Baha'i school was not that far from the Reza Shah, the king of Persia's palace. And when the Baha'i children started day, they would start by singing song and joyful gathering and praising gods and all that. Then all of a sudden one day, and Reza Shah fall in love with this hearing this music and this singing. One day he noticed there's hardly any sound coming from that direction. So he asked his assistant, his attendant, what's going on? Or they told him it's a Baha'i holiday, and on Baha'i holidays, they close the school. He said, what? They closed the school because of Baha'i holiday in a Muslim country? So he got very upset. So in his crazy ways, he ordered that all the Baha'i schools should be closed. And Tarbiyat school was closed on that occasion. In 1934, again, I'm giving you lots of dates because it's important to know how this wonderful soul served the faith and progress. The NSA of Iran was established, and immediately he became, he was elected as a member, and he was also selected as a secretary. For 24 years, he was secretary of the National Spiritual of Iran. He traveled all over the country. He served the faith. He came to our village of Neiris many times. He came to our city, I remember, in Abadan, and he was a guest of our dinner in our house. Now, I tell the friends the story that having chicken for a dinner is quite in my household, our household at least, was significant, because chicken was expensive and we don't get the chance to eat chicken. But I remember Mr. Furutan was our guest and his wife. And my mother has cooked some chicken and rice for him. I was just hoping that Mr. Furutan would not eat all the chicken and would leave some for me. And by luck, he did. So that was one of the blessings of his visit to our city. Many years later, I would recall these stories, and it's amazing. He remembered all of this. The memory of this man was unparalleled. He served the faith, and he visited Shoghi Effendi for the first pilgrimage in 1941, and in 1951, he was appointed as the hand of a cause. He was the first group of the hands that were appointed by Shoghi Effendi. And, there were others who were appointed later. 1955, a major attack on Baha'i community started in Iran. A guy, a mullah by the name Falsafi, got on the Tehran radio and began to attack the faith on a daily basis. I think it was during the month of Ramadan. That instigated all kind of attack on Baha'i community. They came and took over the National Baha'i Center. They destroyed the dome of the National Center. They killed a poor gardener, Mr. Rezai, who was working there. Poor fellow was climbing on the ladder to do something on the roof. They just pushed the ladder off, and the poor guy fell off and he died. In the town of Hormozak, they massacred and they martyred 7 Baha'is. So this was another occasion that Mr. Furutan rise up and steadfastly defend the faith along with other, in particular, my other good friend, Habib Sabet. Shoghi Effendi had promised Mr. Furutan is in younger and earlier days that the time would come that he would serve the faith internationally and he would travel for the faith all over the world. And I think we disappointed as a hand of a cause, this is exactly what happened. He traveled extensively all over the world for many years. And the most significant trip he made later on, maybe we can talk about that, was a return to Moscow, where he was kicked out 50 years earlier. In 1957, as you all hopefully know, Shoghi Effendi died in London. It was the most tragic event in the Baha'i community. And the story has that, all the hands, by the request of Ruhi Khanum, they went to London. They arranged the funeral and burial of Shoghi Effendi, and then they went to Haifa to search for his will, a testament, if there is one. And something interesting happened, and I don't know quite why, but I can guess. Mr. Furutan did not go to London. He stayed in Tehran. And I think probably he did that because the other hands and Ruhi Khanum felt like that his presence in Iran at those days are more important than for him to go to London for protection of the faith. This is my gut feeling. I'm not 100% sure. But then later on, when the hands went to Haifa and they had their own conclave and they searched for the Iran Testament, they could not find anything. They consulted and they realized the message of Shoghi Effendi toward the end of his life was all about appointing the hands as the to safeguard and protection of the faith and propagation of the faith and custodian of the faith. So they went ahead and organized themselves as such that the 9 of them would stay in Haifa and take care of the affair of the faith until 1963, which they decided with the time end of crusades to form the Universal House of Justice. And Mr. Furutan was one of those 9 that was selected to stay in Haifa. There's a cute story about him in Haifa, which I share with some friends. I can tell you also. One of the things that I have seen this personally, Mr. Furutan was doing, he would, on his spare time, of course, he would go and stay by the shrine of the Bab, and he paced back and forth, and he often he had the broom in his hand, and he would clear the pathway from leaves and other things. They said this young Baha'i American came to for pilgrimage, went and did his praying in the shrine. Then he came out and met with Mr. Furutan. He told Mr. Furutan, excuse me, could you tell me how tonight, I think, is the feast night, according to Baha'i calendar, and I'd like to go to feast. Could you tell me where is the feast tonight? Mr. Furutan said, I'm sorry, young man, we have no feast in Haifa. He was kind of surprised, and then he said, okay, then maybe I'll go to a fireside. And again, Mr. Furutan told him, I'm sorry, young man, we don't have any fireside in Haifa. No fireside, no feast. Oh, my goodness, your assembly should do something about this. This cannot go on like this. And again, Mr. Furutan told him, I'm sorry to tell you, we don't have assembly either. He was so shocked, this poor guy. And he turned to Mr. Furutan, he said, what kind of Baha'is are you? So they said, Mr. Furutan told them, you're a bunch of inactive Baha'is living in Haifa. That was there are many stories about him. I have so much stories about Mr. Furutan. He had great sense of humor. And I love to tell jokes. And I like to hear jokes. So we spend lots of time exchanging jokes and things like this, but I'm not going to repeat that. Let me tell you, in 1990, he was so excited to go back to Soviet Union and to visit his university and go to other places that he traveled in his younger days. And then he went for a second time a year later when the National Assembly of Russia, Soviet Union was established. So he often make a reference how wonderful was those trips and those. He was a special man. He was a great writer. We have lots of books written by him that both in Persian and English is available. He was a great speaker, as I mentioned earlier, and he was live a long life, God bless his soul, to be 98 years old, and he died in November of 2003. I think I close here to recuperate and get some chance to answer any question if there is one. Thank you, Aziz. But maybe it's a good time to show other pictures.
So do you want to show other pictures?
Yeah, just show other picture and I'll make some comment about the pictures. Yes,
Okay,
Aziz.
all right. So
this is a picture of Mr. Furutan and his bride, his wife, and that I have a feeling that's Iran Khanum, their daughter.
These are nice pictures, so we don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Most likely, it's not Parveen. I think this is Iran. This is with him and Mr. Samandari. Oh, there's a cute story also in what happened in Egypt. I think they came. This was after a conference. There was a conference in Kampala, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So the two of them came to Egypt, Cairo, and Mr. Furutan probably asked his host, where are we staying? And the host was so proud of himself, and he said, oh, we have made a reservation for you in Hilton on the Nile. And Mr. Samandari said, Hilton on the Nile, how much it cost? The person said, $10 a night. He said, $10 a night? You know, I'm talking about a long time ago. He said, no, we should stay in Baha'i friend's house. We don't want to spend the fake money on the hotel. So the poor guy, the host, was saying that I had this conflict now between the two hands. One doesn't mind to stay in a hotel, and the other one doesn't want to go to a hotel. So I made excuses, and I told him, actually, a dear Baha'i friend has offered to pay for the hotel. So it's not the fake money, it's his money. So they both agreed to stay in the hotel. This is when they were in Egypt, and I guess that's one of the pyramids. Next. Oh, this is a cute picture. These are all the different hands. I love this picture of Mr. Samandari, the way he always have his hand on his chest. That's next to Mr. Furutan. And I think that lady must be Dorothy Baker. Next. Oh, these are some of the Baha'is. He was the most loved figure among the Baha'is. Wherever he go, any town he goes, the friends would surround him. They want to touch him. They want to love him. And these are all some of the Baha'i women in the city of Shiraz that are with him in one of the gathering in that town. Next. Oh, this, I think this is when he met with one of the ministers. Yeah, he was with Prime Minister of India and Mrs. Bowman, yeah. Prime Minister of India. I don't know what was his name, sorry. Oh, this picture was taken in Wilmette, Illinois. He and his wife. Next. Oh, this is probably the last three hands who were alive, and they attended the World Congress. Mr. Barqa, Ruhi Khanum, and Mr. Furutan. It was quite interesting to be there and witness this last of the three of them standing there and welcoming and the Baha'i friends in the conference. Oh, yeah. Yes, there is something I think I mentioned. It's amazing the way he moved his hands during his presentation and his talks. It was so artistic. It was so expressive that it was a flow of his voice and his language and his hands. That's quite admirable. This is a good picture. It was one of his talks. Don't know where this picture was taken, but it's a sweet picture of him. It's by the shrine. And this is the, he did die in Haifa in 1905, and he's buried in that famous Baha'i cemetery that the house is taken care of. Okay, Aziz, that's the end of my presentation. If there's any question, it's fine. If not,
thank
it's
you so
fine
much,
too.
Dr. Ahdieh. Really, we enjoyed a lot. Sorry. Okay, friends, if anybody has any question. Dr. Ahdieh, I have a couple questions from you.
Sure.
You mentioned about the Tarbiyat Baha'i School in Iran, but I think in Iran they were not calling it the Tarbiyat Baha'i School. It was Tarbiyat School only, correct?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat?
So in Iran, you mentioned the Tarbiyat Baha'i School, but actually it was not the Tarbiyat Baha'i School. It was Tarbiyat School only.
I think so too. Yeah, you're right. Target school, because actually a school was opened long before Mr. Furutan became its principal. I think a wonderful Baha'i, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Misbah or somebody was his principal for many years. And when he retired, Mr. Furutan replaced him. Yes, you're right. It was Tarbiyat school. Yes.
Yeah, there was another question that I have that all the time is the mystery question for me is when they closed the Baha'i schools, not the Baha'i schools, these schools which actually was running by the Baha'is, but it was secular actually because non-Baha'is were participating in those schools as well. So how the Baha'i calendar is supposed to be as a part of the administration, and why such an important school needs to be closed because of that?
I think there has been lots of study. I would try to answer your question, but let me say that the Baha'is were in forefront of the establishing a school in Iran from very early days, even the time of Abdul Baha, in Kashan, in Kerman, in Tehran. So they said about 10% of all the schools that was running in Iran was sponsored and organized by the Baha'is. And this Tarbiyat school, I don't know the whole history, but it was started long time, most likely during Abdul Baha's time. And on purpose, they would allow non-Baha'is to also come. And some of the leading politicians of Iran came from that school and graduated from that school.
Correct.
The advice of Shoghi Effendi has been that there are certain principles and certain laws of the faith that we have to obey regardless of what situation may or may not allow us. And one of them is the business of celebrating on Baha'i holidays. On Baha'i holidays, you're not supposed to work. And I have a gut feeling that probably most or all the employer of this school, Tarbiyat and other, they were all Baha'is. And if they are not supposed to work, how are you going to run the school with that situation? I had personal experience with this. I was involved in the educational system, and I was running a school in New York City, along with the other Baha'is and all that. We had 17 Baha'is working for us in that school, out of 75 faculty members. So, and I was also member of New York Assembly. One of the teachers in this school objected, why don't we close the school on Baha'i holidays? This was legitimate objection. And he said, most of us are Baha'is. School claimed to be a Baha'i-inspired school. So he came to New York Spiritual Assembly and complained that Hussein Ahdiyeh and Ed Carpenter, who are Baha'is and running these schools, they are not closing the school on Baha'i holidays. And she was so convincing that I agree with her in the assembly that really we should close the school. But the next day when I went there and I consulted with my other colleagues, they said there's no way the state law does not allow you to close the school unless the holiday is accepted and established by authority. So I have a feeling probably the same thing apply in Iran. When they went ahead and they closed the school and they did not follow the standard that the educational system of Iran had set up, when they can close, when it's summer holiday, when it's closed for Nowruz, they break the daily laws of the country. And what the Shoghi Effendi said, at certain time, you have to do what the conscious and what the Baha'i laws are. And this is one of those occasions. That's my humble explanation.
Okay, thank you. Because actually, all the time, because we are running in the school as well, and with the arm and leg, with a lot of effort, time, we are trying to keep up with that school and just keep it running, and then educate the children for the future, and then. Closing 50 school at once, really, that has been very hard. I'm sure that that's a very difficult decision at that time. If somebody tells me today for my school something like this, so
I cannot. No,
I'm telling you,
it's going to, yeah.
Yeah,
No, but
because you know the thing is, just imagine. The 49 schools in Iran assume that each one 500. You're talking about thousands of students that could be under the direction of the national assemblies and then Baha'i inspired school. We had very successful things in future, but I'm sure that it was maybe very valid reason for this than this. Maybe I'm not sure. So that's why all the time it is my question.
Of course, it comes. Since you are involved personally.
Yes.
In some, you have to make a decision sometime.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay, friends. If anybody else has any questions, Dr. Mirafsari, why I don't see you? Why your raise hand? You raise your hand, but I don't see you on list. Okay. Please just go ahead.
The son of Reza Shah, the Prince Muhammad Reza, was going to the high school too. Despite that, Reza Shah closed the school. The second one is that Mr. Fulton was the secretary of the National Spiritual Assembly for a long time. And Shoghi Effendi loved Mr. Fulton so much. And he was reporting all the activities of the National Spiritual Assembly to Shoghi Effendi every year. One time, I don't know the date, during election, that Mr. Naimi manipulated the election, and Mr. Fulton was not elected as Secretary of the National Spiritual Assembly, and he was elected. They reported to Shoghi Effendi the activities of the National Spiritual Assembly. Shoghi Effendi immediately sent a telegram that Mr. Fulton is the Secretary of the National Spiritual Assembly, and called Mr. Naimi to Haifa to chastise him. Mr. Naimi went to Haifa, was chastised, and Shoghi Effendi sent him as a pioneer to some place. Thank you.
The story. Yes. And Shoghi Effendi did that reluctantly, I would say, because he did not want to interfere in the administration of the assemblies, and he wanted them to learn for themselves if they make a mistake. But then in some occasion, the thing was so drastic and was so important for the welfare of the faith that he had to make such a decision to replace the Secretary of the National Assembly. I agree. You're right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Farah Khanum. Oh, I think, hold on, please. I think I jumping a little bit ahead. Okay, go ahead.
بله الله حفا شبتون بخیر من سوالی ندارم فقط خواستم تشکر کنم I wanted to thank you Dr. Jafari for having these programs and also I really enjoyed your talk and your memories and whatever you said it really made my day thank you very much I enjoyed
Welcome,
this
my
so
dear.
much
You're
thank
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
I love to do this. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Shala.
Yes, I would like to say thank you so much. I was very in touch with my heart because I know Mr. Furtan since I was serving in Haifa every day. He was coming in the pilgrimage house and sitting with the pilgrim and 3-day visitor every night. Say there's lots of story. I wish I was waiting to see you mention about how much he was suffering in Siberia when he was there arrested. I hope next time. But I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Jafari. In English version, we started by your presentation and we will finish the English version by your presentation. Talk about
That's all right. No, hopefully Farid John would invite me and I can make a presentation with my broken Persian and or English in the future. Yes, there are lots to talk about.
You are doing always great, Dr. Ahdi, always.
Sure,
yeah. Okay, Dr. Mir Aftari, go ahead, please.
When I was a child in Kashan, I was about, I think, 10 years old. My father was giving me the principle of the Baha'i faith and to read it in the meeting. In the Baha'i Center, we had a large gathering, and Mr. Fulton came too. He was there. I went to the podium as the 19 important principles of the Baha'i faith. When I came out, Mr. Fulton talked to me and said, "You did a good job." So he took one pencil from his pocket and gave it to me as a prize. And then that was forgotten. When Mr. Fulton was in Holy Land, I went to Holy Land and I talked to Mr. Fulton and I told him, do you remember that you gave me a pencil after my talk in podium? He said, "Yes, I remember. What do you do with that pencil?" I said, "I don't know." He took one of the fountain pens from his pocket and gave it to me. I still have it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Actually, there is a cute story. You know, most Persian and some other know there's a town in Iran called Sangsar, and they have an interesting Baha'i community in Sangsar. Very dedicated, very in love with Baha'u'llah and with the teaching and all that. But they also sometimes they do things that is not quite kosher, as the New Yorker would say. So in one occasion, they did something that was not very pleasant. I think they attacked some Baha'is, so they went and attacked some Muslim, and as a revenge and all that. So Mr. Furutan, poor guy, got the car and drove all the way to Sangsar to meet with their assembly and try to prevent any further escalation of the problem. So he got there. He knew that they are meeting every week on, let's say, Friday or on Saturday. He arrived on his fancy car, parked in front of the place that the Baha'i assembly was visiting. And you notice there are two Baha'is standing by the door with the rifles in their hand to protect the member of assembly. So he went and he wanted to enter the building. They didn't know Mr. Furutan. Said, of course, he said, I am Furutan, Secretary of National Assembly, this and that. So, of course, they ignored him. And again, they insisted that he wants to meet with assembly right away. He said, right now, assembly is smoking. Because they were taking a break, and there were a couple of members who has, unfortunately, they were smoking, so they have to take a break because they couldn't smoke during the assembly meeting. So Mr. Fruiter was saying he had to wait about 10, 15 minutes until the smoking is over, so he could meet with the assembly and talk about the situation. That's okay.
I remember once I went to Baji, and then it was in August, and it was very hot, and Mr. Frutan was coming from the shrine, and I was going to the shrine, and then I saw him on way. I said, Allah Pa. I said, Allah Pa. I said, Mr. Frutan, the weather is very hot today. And he looked at me and said, yes, but hell is much hotter than
That's true. That's true.
hell is much harder. So don't worry about it.
Yep. You just want a friendly reminder. Just in case.
Mr. Frutan, whenever he was going, then the thing is, of course, it was the hand of the cause, and then he was the center of attention and talking and all those things. And then in that special gathering that we had, we were with Mr. Arbab and Mr. Furutan, and then I don't know what happened. We will end up with a discussion of fun and talking to each other regarding situation in the dining room that we have and all those stuff. And I saw that Mr. Furutan was very serious. He was not laughing at all and was just looking at us. And then when we continue more, he seriously said, "Oh, okay, friends, I am so sorry that I cannot participate in your discussion."
That's true. Oh, okay, this reminds me another one. There was an occasion that a good friend of mine, Dr. Taraz, was driving. I think we were going to Baha'i school, Greenacre. He was driving. I was sitting next to him in the front, and Mr. Furutan and his wife were sitting in the back seats. So, of course, he tell a story, and I tell a story, and I think I told a story which was too funny. So he started to laugh and laugh, and suddenly he started to choke. He could not breathe. And his wife started to scream at the driver. He said, "Hushman, stop! Furutan is dying." So good thing Hushman was a doctor. He stopped the car, we opened up his ties, we give him some fresh air. So I always say, can you imagine, God forbid, if he would have died in that car because of my jokes, I would for sure go to hell. Yes, and hell is very hot.
Hell is very hot. Okay, Nuri Khanum, just go ahead.
Yeah, Allah. Since you're talking about hell, I was debating to say this or not. When I went to Holy Land, like I was younger, and then he wanted to make us feel good, like, oh, you young lady looks like French people, you look so pretty. And then he's asking me, where are you coming from? So I'm kind of saying I am coming from United States. And then he said, so say I am coming from hell. That's what he said for America. So I was, since you were talking about hell and heaven. So
That's right.
And the other thing I used to remember, Dr. Atiyah, when you are showing your young ages pictures, is so pretty.
I'm sorry, say again.
Remind me your pictures when you were younger, and you still look young.
Oh,
And
thank you.
it reminds me of my own pictures with him. I remember we used to go in fasting time, روزه, to Bagh Omana, Bagh Teje. I
Oh
don't know
God,
if you remember.
no,
Yeah.
I don't. I wasn't there, but that's wonderful.
So Mr. Frutan used to talk to us in, at the time of fasting.
Yeah,
It was
of
so
course.
nice. So we were young.
People
Yeah.
have such a fond memory of those days that
Yeah.
that Mr. Furutan coming at schools and like that summer place and talks and oh, it was so much good old days. Good old days. It would the same way that he was kicked out of the Moscow and Russia, and after 50 years he went back joyfully. I have a gut feeling that one of these days you and I may not be around, but we're going to have the same joy of having the pleasure of going those places and remembering.
And I have to say this too. One day in Holy Land, I was hoping that I want to see him when he's in a shrine and how he is praying. So I wanted so bad to witness this one day. So one day I went inside shrine of Abdul Baha and nobody was there. So I saw this black robe with the hat that he had on, standing in front of the Arabic tablet, and he was reading that. It was kind of nice, like, oh, finally I saw him while he's saying the prayer in shrine. But I'm sorry to say, I hope it's okay to say. But he looked from the back like Dracula, Leonard, because it's all black, black robe, and the black hat. Anyhow, thank you.
That was him. Actually, they said there was another cute story about him. He said he was in Australia, and this I heard from him myself. He said there was this young, cute daughter of this Baha'i family that he was staying. And she told Mr. Furutan, I love you as much as my dog. So that was a he thought she's really giving compliment. And then he said the same family, the mother of the same girl, and she said in heavy Australian accent, Mr. Fulton, are you going to die? And he said, I was so healthy. There was no reason for somebody to ask me if I'm going to die. Then I realized she went, are you going to live today? She keeps saying, are you going to die?
Yeah, died. Yes,
So
that's
I
true.
promise this is the last one I say. When we came from Iran, and then we don't know like how they love their dogs. So in the feast, Mr. Iwas was the only American, and we were all Persians. And so he was saying, Nuri, take these foods and everything, otherwise I'm going to give it to my dog. So I was kind of like, wow, what is this? I was here just for a few months, yeah. Thank you.
That's true.
Thank you.
Many memories.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mashil Hanum, go ahead.
Allah for everyone. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. Enjoyed it very much. I just was wondering if you remember the joke that you said and made Mr. Fruit and choke.
No, I'm not going to. I'm sorry. I don't want to repeat that joke.
You're afraid that
No, it's not. It was a little bit. Actually, I felt very guilty to mention that joke because it was. No, it was really making fun of the imams and thing like this, which is not very appropriate to say it and document it. If you come to New York on a private setting, I would tell you.
Dr. Ahdia, thank you so much. I know that is 11:30 right now, your time. Maybe it's the time for you to sleep. But thank you so much for all your time and effort that really you are doing it for me. And every time that I called you for helping us just coming to Talar Yaran, always you were coming and accepting with the joy, and really, really appreciate for all your service that you have done to Talar Yaran.
Faridun John, I love you. And as I
Me
told you
too.
the other day, you are a very unusual person. Really, you live the kind of the services you're offering in so many different areas is unbelievable. That this is the work of so many different people that you're doing. One person is doing. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Good
much,
night.
and see you in near future in other programs.
Good night.
And Tatiana, say good night.
Thank you, Tatiana. Good night. Thank you so much, Tatiana.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, friends, let's listen to nice music together. Let's see what I have here. I think, hold on, please. Clips. There we go.
Oh, my sweet soul, please lay down your comb, for in the waves of your hair, my heart has made its home. For in the waves of your hair, my heart has made its home.
My shining moon, let those tangles fall apart. So maybe you'll untie the knots inside my crazy heart. So maybe you'll untie the knots inside my crazy heart.
My heart has built its shelter in your hair.
It drives me to madness every time you brush it there.
It drives me to madness
Every time you brush it there.
Within your ringlets, countless captive hearts lie beneath.
I see them bleeding on your comb's cruel teeth. I see them bleeding on your comb's cruel teeth.
Oh, my sweet soul, please lay down your comb, for in the waves of your hair, my heart has made its home. For in the waves of your hair, my heart has made its home.
My shining moon, let those tangles fall apart. So maybe you'll untie the knots inside my crazy heart. So maybe you'll untie the knots inside my crazy heart.
Within your ringlets, countless captive hearts lie beneath.
I see them bleeding on your comb's cruel teeth.
I see them bleeding on your comb's cruel teeth.
My heart has built its shelter in your hair. It drives me to madness every time you brush it there.
It drives me to madness
Every time you brush it there. Within your ringlets, countless captive hearts lie beneath.
I see them bleeding on your
Comb's cruelty. I see them bleeding on your comb's cruelty.
Bargisuyat John, but just we heard it in English, so it was nice. The thing is, you know, that during these days, AI and ChatGPT Cloud is doing really magnificent job. Is sometimes I just thinking that looks like we were in a cage, and now they open the cage, the door of the cage. We want to fly, but we don't know which direction we should fly. We don't know what's going on outside and where we should go. The sky is the limit. So I really, it is fabulous, and then we are living in this age, and it happening during our time, and really is a fabulous. I have some videos regarding this AI, and I like to really to have some sort of a sessions on AI, and then teaching or just working together on the usage of AI, and then the capabilities of this magnificent really phenomena that's happening around us. Okay, so I like to go with the another music that is a beautiful Italian song. It happens in Milan, and let's watch it together.
Song is called Caruso by Lucio Dalla, beautiful Italian song. Hope you guys enjoy. Qui dove il mare luccica e tira forte il vento, su una vecchia terrazza davanti al golfo di Sorrento, un uomo abbraccia una ragazza dopo che aveva pianto, poi si schiarisce la voce e ricomincia il canto. Se voglio bene sai, ma tanto, tanto bene sai, è una catena ma scioglie il sangue, rinte bene sai. Thank you.
Vide le luci in mezzo al mare, pensò alle notti là in America, ma erano solo le lampade e la bianca scia di un'elica. Sentì il dolore nella musica, si alzò dal pianoforte, ma quando vide la luna uscire da una nuvola, mi sembrò più dolce anche la morte. Guardò negli occhi la ragazza, quegli occhi verdi come il mare. Poi all'improvviso uscì una lacrima e lui credette di affogare. Te voglio bene assai, ma tanto, tanto bene assai. È una scioglie il sangue di tu bene assai.
Potenza della lirica, dove ogni dramma è un falso, che con un po' di trucco e con la mimica puoi diventare un altro. Ma due occhi che ti guardano così vicini e veri ti fanno scordare le parole, confondono i pensieri.
così diventò tutto piccolo, anche le notti là in America. Ti volti e vedi la tua vita come la scia di un'elica. Eh sì, è la vita che finisce, ma lui non ci pensò poi tanto, anzi si sentiva già felice e ricominciò il suo canto. Se voglio bene sai, ma tanto, tanto bene sai, è una catena ormai che scioglie il sangue di doveri assai.
All together, come on. Se voglio bene sai, ma tanto, tanto bene sai,
È una catena ormai che scioglie il sangue di doveri assai.
scioglie il sangue e rizza bene sai. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, grazie.
Grazie, grazie a tutti. Un applauso a Luca. Luca.
Yes, these really beautiful buildings in Italy. When you go there and these people are singing in front of it, the history of really Romans right there with these musics really is very enjoyable, very nice, and I have some of them which I'm gonna just show you later on, those musics. Okay, friends, as I said earlier, with this today, Thursday, that would be the last day of our English program. And then next week, we're going to go with the Farsi, all the programs. But on Mondays, we are still continue with some recording sessions that I'm going to have for you. And then on Tuesday and then Thursdays, I'm going to have regular programs. And then some new programs is going to be added to our sessions. We have some gatherings and some really fundraising and then consultation we are going to have for Tarbiyat School as well. We are in the process of doing a lot of activities right there. And then I think it's good that all of you know what's going on and what we do. And because the number of students are very soon increase. And then therefore number of teachers and activities and the food and dental school, MA school and all the stuff is being added. And this is really that the historical type operation that we have right there is under our control. And then we have everything there from A to Z, from management of the school itself, in addition to academic of the school as well. Lots of extra curriculum for the school. And every time that I'm explaining these things to some people who they don't know, really they are being amazed that what we have done, what we achieved, and what we are doing very effectively, without any interference, without any problem. We are keep going. The front is open for us, and we are trying to equip these kids with the latest technology as well. I asked one of the teachers right there, who is actually a computer student, that start to do the AI and coding teaching to the kids as well. So it has been started already. And then soon I'm going to have those teachers to come to Talari Yaran as well, have their own presentation, and then what they do and how the kids doing and all the stuff. We are going to have that kind of program in Talari Yaran as well. Of course, when they're coming, we are going to have a translation as usual. that you have an experience right now to just listen to the translation as well. So that would be a very fantastic job that we are going to do it very soon in near future. Okay, let's go with that. You know that these for those friends who they are living in Southern California, this Sunday there is a, gathering of all mostly Baha'is. Of course, non-Baha'is are invited as well in Balboa Park. They can come right there. These the friends are really spending a lot of time and effort to organizing that gathering. I think if anybody has time, really participate right there. You are going to have fun, a lot of food with a good atmosphere, and just really all of you are really welcome if you want to participate to that gathering. We are trying to participate as well, but we have some jobs to do. I hope that we can wrap it up quickly. If we wrap it up quickly, maybe we can join that group as well. Okay, let's go with Shala Kasiri. Shala, go ahead.
Allah for friends, thank you so much, Mr. Jafari, for all your information and beautiful program. I just quick question: is it dental assistant course has a start? Are you needed some support for fund for them? And also, did you check the group?
The thing is, right now we have some. The school is going to start soon. We don't have any right now. Really expenditure for that school for not for now, at least because we have not started one. Second, the Dr. Sadapur, who is teaching that class, is not charging us. Is going to be as a volunteer service project that he's gonna do. And the ladies who will participate in the school, maybe we do need some tools, some materials, or something like that. We don't know what it is and how much it is and all those things, but very soon we will know all of those things, and be trying to make the school self-sufficient as well, different activities, sport, bazaar and this and that in a school, in order just to have some fund available to spend, and then whatever is just we are shortage, we are going after those. Right now we are doing a construction because level 7, 8, 9, despite the fact that we have space in the afternoon, we want to keep the kids up to grade 9 in the morning. All of them are in the morning rather than morning and afternoon, because the parents, they cannot bring 2 times kids to the school, and that's a problem for them. So that's why we're trying to organize that. And then of course, the facilities keep growing. We're adding right now 4 classes right there. And then of course the classes needs chair, needs a whiteboard, and some of these small standard things that the classroom needs. We need those. And then we have talked already with local assembly as well. We offer them, if they want to have any gathering right there, if they want to have anything right there, they can do it as well. And then we have advertised already local, if any young generation, if there is any marriage, any wedding, any birthday or something like that, they can use the school as well. We can provide a facility for them in the yard, in the basketball place or something like that. That would be a little bit income as well. So the thing is, the income, expenses, and all those things is still is not final yet. As we go, we are trying to make it, and then coming up with the planning, and then coming up with a strategy and the business guideline that we are making for the school. So I don't have any different answer for you right now, but I will have an answer for you very soon, maybe in a matter of a month or two. I'm going to have a clear picture that what's going on with the reminder of 2026 and what's happening in 2027. So I'm going to have both years, this year and the next year, in the calculation and all those paperwork that I can present it to Talar Yaran, and then I'm going to have some fundraising in person as well, in addition to online that we are going to have here. So, but just stand by. We will know soon.
Thank you.
Okay, let's listen to another thing. Is as we said that last year in March 30th, 2025, we had a gathering in the park, Balboa Park. Mrs. Roya Mani, that really she is a big supporter of the school, and then all the time, just she has traveled once right there and help us. Along with her brother, and now even yearly she's helping us as well. So she performed the music in the park, which we are listening together.
Eres mi hermano del alma, realmente un amigo. Todo camino y jornada estás siempre conmigo. Aunque eres un hombre, aún tienes alma de niño. Aquel que me da su amistad, su respeto y cariño. Recuerdo que juntos pasamos muy duros momentos y tú no cambiaste por fuertes que fueran los vientos. Es tu corazón una casa de puertas abiertas.
Okay, friends, I want to have one more music for you, and that would be the last one. And then, of course, the next week, we are going to have some new program for you. I hope that I can make it. There is a program that I like to present from next week. I like it. I love it very much. So I hope that you would like it as well. But that would be a surprise for you. I don't want to. I don't like to talk about it right now. But I want to just show you music. That is the reminder of my time during the high school. Let's look at it together.
Vámonos, que esto se pone peor que lo de Montecarlo.
Yes, beautiful song. Really, just every time that it is in my list of musics, and every time that I look at it, even I remember those days that I was in high school. I'm sure that this music you heard that some of you might heard it even during those times. There's a long way from there to now. So anyway. So glad to see everybody here after a long vacation. Next week we will start with the new programs, with new activities. I need the participation of all of you for future activities that we are going to have, and hopefully all we will be winner on this for sure. For sure, it will be great and news in near future for all of us for activities that we do, because as you know, we are aiming for the service, and we don't do anything else, not the right, not the left, just straight focus on the service. And I'm sure that we will be successful. Thank you so much again. Good night. See you next week. Other program with Talar Yaran.